caps on because we need it for the photographs. So please all get ready in your seats, please, so that we can. So everybody's sitting down so we can get started. Yes, you're up here. Yeah. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the YUNGA School Assembly. Let's give a big round of applause to everybody here today. So we're actually in the plenary room of FAO. This is actually where all the governments come to make decisions around food and agriculture. So today we're going to present to you lots of different elements that we do here in FAO. But first of all, I'd like to introduce you to our special guests. And first of all, I'd like to introduce you to the FAO Director General, who will do an opening speech. So let's give him a big round of applause.
Hello, everyone, younger generation. You are like old people. You are not sleeping well, or you still not wake up? Let's say 1, 2, 3, go. It's okay, very good. Let's have a fresh start this morning. I know, and your future is in your hands. When I was your age, I had a lot of dreams. You guess what is number one dream? Someone can help me? Yes, please. You are too diplomatic. Hunger. I ended hunger because 59 years ago, I went to bed without food, without enough food, with enough food, go to bed with hunger. I want to end the hunger, have enough food. But now, you are fortunate. live in the Europe, in Italy, do you enjoy food prepared by your parents, by your grandparents, or by your sisters, brothers? You have enough food. But please remember, we still have at least 20% of people in the world that still have not enough food every day. That's your dream, to start to help FAO, help the people in that vulnerable country to end the hunger. That's one message I want to tell you. Second, how to help the people who need the most help. First, prepare yourself. Capable person. What means a capable person to help the people? You need to start more knowledge. You need to start understand the world. World is not like you faced today. It's much complicated than you thought. So you have to understand the real picture of the world. And the third, you need some specific skill, technology, to empower yourself to capable to help other people. And last but not least, you need a big passion, big love. Not only love your sisters, brothers, your parents, your grandparents, your neighbors, but you have to love all the people on this planet. And then you need the strong physical and psychological, because you face stress every day when you grow up. Even now, you are struggling for getting up earlier, or you don't like to do some exercise under the high temperature, or you don't want to finish the homework your teacher told you. That's a small stretch for you. But in the future, you will face a lot of stretches. So I hope you have a vision, you have a mandate, you have a love in your heart, in your soul, and then build up yourself. You become the capable person in the future when you go to the field, you go to the street, you go to business, you get out of your school and work together with other people friendly, honestly, and also deliverably. Walk the talk. I wish you have a bright future and bright career and happiness, healthiness life with you all over your entire life. I wish you all the best. Thank you.
So let's show the Director General our passion. So as we practice in rehearsals, let's really show how we can rock this building, okay? 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much. So now I'm delighted to introduce you to Her Excellency, Pernilla Everson. She is actually very important for our program here in YUNGA because Sweden was one of the big funders that actually allowed us to establish all this environmental work with youth. So I'm very delighted to have you here today. And thank you for all the contributions Sweden has made for this program. You have the floor.
Buongiorno a tutti. È un grande piacere per me essere qui con voi oggi per questa assemblea scolastica. Quando andavo a scuola io non erano così belle e grandi le assemblee. Sono sicura che il vostro inglese sia meglio che il mio italiano, quindi adesso cambia lingua per un po'. Dear FAO Director General, let me start by congratulating you and your team for this wonderful event and also for your inspiring words at the start. This is really what FAO is about. And also to thank you for your continued dedication for young people and youth issues, which is what we see in FAO this week. If you walk around, you will see the whole youth forum that is taking place. So many things happening here, which is really for the future. So it's fantastic to be here at FAO, which is one of the most important knowledge organizations when it comes to knowledge about food. This is where we find the best expertise on how food can be produced in the most sustainable way for taking care of the planet, but it's also knowledge about how we can eat in a healthy way that is good for us, but it's also good for the planet. And also, which is not least important, how can we reduce the food waste, all the food that we today are not eating on our plates or we are throwing away. That if we know and do that, then we can make a big change. So if we have this knowledge, then we know how we can change and do things better. And this is really what the idea behind YUNGA is about. Giving young people the knowledge and then knowing what the best to do. So this is, as Ruben said, this is one of the projects that my country has been starting together with FAO and continuing to support. Today in the world we are 8 billion people, which is a lot. I think it's double the amount it was when I was young. But just to fill the need of all those 8 billion, we are already today using up 1.8 planets. That is a lot. And then, of course, as the Director General said, it's not everyone in the world that has the same good lives that we are having here in countries like my own Sweden and in Italy. Many other countries and many other people are living completely different lives. So sadly, there is of course, a lot of bad things happening that is affecting the planet. We are losing many plants and animals. We have climate change, and all these plants and animals are important for biodiversity. But of course, it's very hard to change our habits, and it doesn't get any easier with age, I tell you. But you who are young people, I mean, if you learn how we can change, and you also are brave enough to tell others what you think, then we can go for a better future. I'm sure you already know quite a lot about this, and I think we will see more when we come to the quiz later. In Sweden we say, var den förändring du vill se i världen, which means be the change you want to see in the world. So by buying and eating green choices and not wasting food, we can actually all together make a big difference. And you will have great knowledge, and that is something that you can share with grown-ups and others. Con queste parole vi auguro una bella assemblea e non vedo l'ora di vedere i vostri meravigliosi creazioni oggi e in futuro. Grazie. Thank you very much.
So, now I would like to introduce you to Maximo Torero. He's the chief economist in FAO, and he's also the chair of the youth committee. So all the events that you see today, Maximo is the one that actually coordinated the whole team. So he's also another of our youth champions in FAO. So it was also, he's sort of my boss, to treat him nicely. So I give the floor to Maximo.
Break the ice, because they sit so quietly now. So once the DG has left, we just do some...
So, how are you? Are you doing well? Okay, what does the colors mean? What is green? Environment. What is orange? And where is production? What color? And what we are missing? What is red? So what it means? Everything. So we have better production, we produce better, we have better nutrition, healthy food, healthy diets, and you can change that at your house. You can do a lot there, but we need to be careful of our environment, because if not, we are in trouble. And if we do the three, what we will get? A better life. So let's scream here. Better production. What are you? Scream, better production. Better nutrition. So, environment. And better life. So, it's great to have you all here. You know, the reason of having the youth here, because I am already old and thinking something else, is because you are going to create the change. You are going to help us to make the change. As the Director General said, you have to work with us. And why? It's very simple. When you want something, what you do? You try for it and you bother your parents. You make the parents change their behavior. That's what we want. We want to change behavior. We want you to change how we behave. Today we lose a lot of food. We waste a lot of food. When you go to your school and you eat the food in the school, we need to be sure that we don't waste food, because there are many people that need that food. And what you save by not wasting the food, that will affect the prices, and that will allow poorer people to be able to have access to that, to be able to have access to healthy diets. So healthy diets is diversity. It's trying different types of foods, vegetables, fish, potatoes, meat, all together, okay? So we need to combine and diversify your foods. So we hope you can help us on this change. You know, we were very successful with climate. The kids influence behavior of parents, recycling. You are the ones telling the parent, at least my kids, always torture me when I don't put things in the recycling baskets. We need to go farther than that. We also need to change behavior so that we don't waste. When you get into your house and you have your lunch and your dinners and you see that food is being rotten in the fridge, alert your parents. You're buying too much. We need to change behavior. So we count on you to change behavior, because we want a better life for all of us. And you have to help us. And we know that you can help change behavior. At least my kids torture me day and night to change my ugly behavior. So work on that and try to change behavior, and try to change your behavior. Your example will be what matters, and your example will be what we need to happen. Now we are living in a complex world. Today we have a very tough world. And it's sad that you have to be in this tough world, but it's a beautiful world too. Look at the beauty of this world every morning when you wake up and you see what we see when we walk. So take advantage of that and help us in changing. Thank you.
So now I'd like to introduce you to Her Excellency Yael Rubenstein. She is permanent representative of the State of Israel for the UN Rome-based aid agencies.
Okay, good.
And Israel has also been doing some really interesting work with youth. And today we would like to introduce you to the project on Israel Sustainable Development Goals project, and tell us a little bit about the project, what motivated you in developing the project, and what lessons you've learned from it. Thank you very much.
So, good morning all, and thank you very much for inviting me. Although I just finished high school 4 years ago, I'm very, very happy and excited to be here. You know, Israel is a very young country, so we are investing a lot in our young generation and high schools. That's why we decided in Israel to have a very unique program. Is a competition among high schools in Israel, that they need to find one SDG that they feel very comfortable with, to find a country that needs kind of more encouraging of developing this SDG, and together they go together and find a very innovative solution to one of the problem that this country is facing. This program was initiated by our mission to the UN here in Rome, to FAO. I would like to thank, by the way, the DG and Massimo and all FAO management for letting us introducing this project of high schools here in Rome. It was late June this year, because after we had about 60 high schools in Israel that were participating, and 7 won the first prize, and the prize was to come to Rome and introduce the project in front of FAO management and many, many ambassadors around the world. So we're going to be very lucky to be able to hear one of the high schools later on today. And I hope you're going to find it very interesting, because when we are talking about SDG, and reaching the agenda by 2030, it's going to be your world. You have to decide what kind of world we want to live in. So we are in your hands, and we would like your full contribution and collaboration to help us to reach the 2030 agenda. And as you will see very soon, we called this very unique Israeli program ISDG, meaning Israel SDG. So thank you all, and have a great, great, great day. Thank you.
So we actually have the school online, and they're just going to give us a quick overview of their project, and then we're going to go to the quiz questions. So let's see the project that they actually did to actually win. So there they are up on the screen, and we give them the line. Let's give them a round of applause.
So hello everyone from Israel. We just like the permission to upload our presentation, if you may, because we have a presentation to follow our short presentation orally. Can we do that?
I think we can.
I hope the production team also says yes. Let's see, Here it's coming.
Okay, so good day everyone. Thank you so much for inviting us. We're so proud and feel privileged to be with you. My name is Sarit. I'm the mentor of this wonderful team, and we will be presenting you our initiative, and the floor is yours. Come on, guys.
Okay. It all started when Crazy Night at school. Good day, everyone, and thank you for the opportunity to present here today. We are Nadav Dahan, Yonatan Noach, and Yonatan Paz. We represent of One Provides Future Generator High School, and we are proud to be the first school which joined global schools in Israel.
Our initiative was born on a special white night at school. That was our traditional SDG hackathon, where about 50 teams of students worked and compete throughout the night to find sustainable solutions for challenges different countries face.
When we began researching, we came across one challenge which especially drew our attention, and we became empathic. We found out that Zambia suffers from high rates of newborns death, and that its medical staff struggle to maintain good sanitation and good hygiene. Imagine it was only 2 months before COVID-19 burst into our lives and put a huge spoke in everyone's wheel. That was the moment our idea sparked. We wanted to address the urgent need of Zambia to save lives and provide good hygiene. And as you can all understand by now, pretty soon, we realized the relevance to many other countries due to the new reality of COVID-19.
In other words, our challenge was to come up with sustainable solution to improve sanitation and hygiene, and thus give Zambia's local medical staff the opportunity to save lives. The big question was how to solve this challenge. This is where teamwork shines the most, because we all know that great minds think alike. We suddenly remembered that a couple of days before the hackathon, we read about a special gel which allows to cut down the amount of water one needs to grow a plant. It was a new Israeli startup project which had stimulated our curiosity.
This led us to think about a plant or an agricultural cultivation that could improve hygiene. Digging deeper in our investigation throughout the special night at school, we read about sugarcane. And it hit us. We must try to produce a disinfectant substance, ethanol, from sugarcane.
He arrived.
Okay. But how is our solution sustainable, and how, in God's name, will it work?
Our solution wishes to enable local medical staffs to produce a disinfectant substance, ethanol, independently, without relying on the need to transport it from one place to another.
Moreover, we wish to form an Israeli-Zambian partnership to benefit both the people of Zambia and the people of Israel. Our solution meets goals number 3, 6, and 17. Ta-da! Here it comes.
These are the main stages of our sustainable solution. First, Israeli and Zambian teams will grow sugarcane on the top of local hospitals using direct sunlight. This stage takes about 3 to 4 months.
Then they will produce ethanol from sugarcane, meaning they will conduct the chemical procedure of fermenting sugarcane. They will add yeast to the ground sugarcane, and by doing so, the glucose will break into its elements, which among them, surprise, is that
The last stage is where 70% pure liquid ethanol is produced when ethanol gas transforms into liquid. So what have we done and learned in our way to our solution, and what still needs to be done? We met biology and chemistry specialists in order to understand more about the procedure.
we conducted our own experiment producing ethanol from sugarcane in our school lab. You can see the pictures here. We are planning to build our own prototype device and grow our own sugarcane at school. We participated and won the ISDG competition in Israel and received the golden opportunity to present our initiative in Rome, in Faro, and in front of important ambassadors from all over the world.
We are planning, and this is where we need help, to broaden and expand the scales and repeat the experiment in a way which will, hopefully, allow us to produce bigger amounts of ethanol. We wish to create further research and further partnership in order to make our initiative suitable and ready to reach its true destination.
As we all know, true entrepreneurs never quit. The pandemic has changed the way we work, live, and maintain our social relations. It taught us that international collaboration, which seek and encourage sustainable solutions, is more than crucial.
By now, we all understand the power youth have in creating the right change. Times are changing, as Bob Dylan recently wrote. It's time to act, and it is our responsibility. Thank you for listening.
Now we get into the action part of the session, because the 4 betters are actually 4 teams and they're competing against each other. And we have a series of quiz questions. So I'd like to ask our Director General to ask the first question. So if we can bring up the slides.
Okay, here they are.
Hello? Yes. First question, which food needs pollinators to be produced?
So is it sweet corn or chocolate? Put up your voting cards. Let's see. And then your team captains will let us know your average score for each color. So Life already is voting green.
Please turn down the green. You are wrong. Turn down the green.
Wait, don't tell him the answer.
I was a professor. You don't know how to deal with them. Make them a real understanding. Now, who is right? No, turn down the green. No, right? You are completely wrong. Green is right. Sweet corn. That's I know how to educate the young kids. Now you remember? It's green. Green. Look. That's the final champion. Green. You are still dealing with adult. You don't know how psychologically educate young kids.
I have a lot to learn.
Actually, my daughter, actually my grandson now. My grandson 3 years, and I use the psychological, make them more deep memory. Now you remember, you're wrong, huh? Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Give a round of applause. So, let's see.
Thank you. Enjoy your time. I have another meeting. Have fun. So, have a knowledge, I said. Have a bit of your skill. Not only talk. The walk, the talk. Thank you.
Let's give a big round of applause to the Director General. Okay, now let's try question 2. So, Your Excellency, if you'd like to ask question 2. So remember to use your voting card so that each team captain knows which color we're going from.
This is on, you can hear me. No? Hello. It's great. You have already answered before I even asked the question.
That's good. Yeah.
So, but you can read it here behind me. So the question is, which of 2 alternatives contains most protein, which is something you really need to grow? And if you think it's 100 grams of cooked lentils, you use green. And if you think it's 1 glass of milk, which is 100 milliliters, you would press red. So, and I leave it to Ruben to reply and give the right answer.
Production team has voted green. Nutrition has voted green. Environment has voted green. And life has voted green. So everybody's voted green. And so let's do our cards. Like, what do you think the answer is? Let's do the... And the answer is... Oh, the answer is... Okay. So in fact, a lot of legumes and so forth have a lot of protein. So the message really is that you can really diversify your diet. You don't necessarily have to eat meat and dairy products, but you can actually mix it with legumes and other things. And if you want to learn more, we have a nutrition challenge badge, which you can undertake to eat more balanced and more sustainably. So now let's go to the 3rd question. So Your Excellency, if you'd like to ask the 3rd question.
Okay. A full fridge uses less energy than an empty one. So true is green, false is red.
So let's see, what does production team say? Tricky. Red.
Okay.
They have gone for red. Nutrition, red.
Red.
Environment, red. And life, red. Wow, everybody's gone for red. And we can also see the online scoring. We have also red from all the production team online as well. So let's do and the reply is
Green.
I don't think many of you got that right? So why is that? So the answer is of course, if the fridge is empty, every time you open it, all the cold air goes out. So of course, we're not telling you to fill up your fridge with food, because then you probably have food loss and waste. But what you can do is put bottles of water and other containers in, which actually trap the cold in there, and actually means you use less energy, right? Also, another important thing is when you change your fridge, look very carefully at the energy rating of the fridge. If you actually buy an A+++, it will use much less electricity. You as a family will save money in the long term, and also you'll save the environment. So these are some of the things you can learn from our Climate Change Challenge bag. So now I pass the floor to Maximo for the last question of the round. And the question...
This is a very, very, very difficult question. So be ready, okay? First, what is the... Wait. Wait, I have to ask the question, don't read it. Yeah. So what is the average age of farmers? So who can explain me what is an average? Okay, go ahead, explain me. What is average? Yeah, you. You raise your hand. Put your microphone. Press a button there.
They're blocked.
You gather data, and then what you do? You add it up and divide it by of subjects, okay? That's correct? Correct. Okay, so what is the answer? What is the answer? Red or green?
Okay, so let's have a look. What does production team say?
Oh, not so evident now.
Oh, production team's very undecided. What is it going to be? Maybe nutrition already has an answer while we're waiting? Red. Nutrition's going red. What is the environment going? Oh, very undecided. Red. Okay. And better life, what are they voting? Red. So, production, what is your vote? Red.
Red.
Okay. So, and the answer is...
Red.
So, you need to work in agriculture to change this, okay? Good luck.
So in fact, who is going to grow our food if all our farmers are so old? So let's hope some of you will actually join the farmers to grow our crops. Now, that session is finished, and I would like to give a big round of applause to our special guests.
Make a lot of noise. Woo!
I think we can do better than that, right? Remember, let's do it on 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
So, as the guests are leaving, we have a short intro, a little video to go from round 1 to 2. So.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, we have the scoreboard. So, everybody's got top scores at the moment, so that's not bad. Give yourself a big round of applause.
Well done. Okay, I think we can show the video now, right?
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue, clouds of white, bright, blessed days, dark, sacred night. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colours of a rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, "How do you do?" They're really saying, "I love you." I hear babies cry. I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than I'll ever know. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Quite simply wonderful.
That was a beautiful video. Has any one of you recognized the voice of the video? Okay, I see a lot of hands up there. Just scream it into the room. Wonderful, great, exactly. So now that you have sit so quietly and so well behaved, thank you very much, well done, and you look so beautiful. So now to just get a little bit more energy, we're doing the Mexican wave, so basically la ola, okay, in Spanish. So I will start over there. So when I raise my hands, and once they have risen their hands, everyone continues up to there, okay? So 1, 2, 3. Okay, wow. Well done. A little bit more energy again now, starting from this side. 1, 2, 3. Woo! Well done. So I hope now you're all awake, because now we have a few presentations. One presentation will be done from Melissa. She's a technical advisor at FAO and a nutrition specialist. She will tell you a lot of interesting things about nutrition, but it's also very important to listen carefully, because the presentation might contain some of the answers to the next quiz questions. Melissa, over to you.
Okay, can you hear me? Okay, so hello. Hello, everybody. I cannot hear you. Great. So, show of hands, who likes to eat? Is there anybody that doesn't like to eat? You don't like to eat? Ah, okay, so this presentation is for you. But I don't want to talk a lot about it. So, first, we need to give this friend a name. Bob. Bob. Okay, Bob. Fine, Bob. Bob 1. Bob, this is Bob. So, Bob is a regular child, and my friend Bob wants to know about healthy and sustainable diets. But what is all about this sustainability and these healthy diets? Well, healthy diets are not only good for us, we know this, they're also good for the planet, they're also good for our children and our grandchildren. And you will hear a lot about this in your school, you will hear a lot about this from your parents, and there is a lot of information out there. But information is important, we need to have the right information, but it's not sometimes the most important thing. We all know fruits and vegetables are great for us. We all know that we don't need to eat a lot of sweets. But really, when we think about, we know this is not the best for us, but we still eat it. And this is for several reasons that I will talk about. Okay, so first, before I start talking about Bob, what do you think are the main characteristics of a healthy and sustainable diets? Perfect. A lot of fruits and vegetables. Protein. Which foods contain protein? Yes. All beans, chickpeas, milk. Yeah. Great. Yes. Yes. But do we eat carbohydrates, or do we eat foods that give us carbohydrates? What kind of foods have them? Yeah? Yeah? Yes, yes, this is like the staples, what we eat every single day, but it's important that they are not very white, that they're a little bit whole wheat, whole meal with several different cereals. But we all know this. We also know that we do not need to eat a lot of sweets, that we do not need to drink a lot of sodas. We know this, right? We all know this, right? Okay. So, Bob here has a problem. Bob has a lot of cavities. His teeth are a little bit falling. He went to the dentist, and the dentist said, you are drinking a lot of sodas, and you're eating a lot of sweets. So, Bob needs to drink and eat less sweets. But this is not easy for Bob. There is a lot of things that are happening at the same time. There is another problem that Bob has. He is his family, they notice that they are wasting a lot of food, particularly fruits and vegetables. They're going to waste, they're going bad. So he's looking at the trash can, and a lot of bananas are going bad, a lot of apples are going bad, and when one apple goes bad, everything rottens in the fridge, and this is happening almost every week. So we heard a lot about changing behavior. Do you know what is changing behavior? Do you know what behavior is? Yes? What is it? Yes. Doing, that's the word. Doing. Behavior is we actually do something. We do not only know about it and tell others, but we do it. So, Bob needs to eat less sweets, and also his family needs to waste less food. Easy, right? No, not so easy. This is like a road that the family and Bob needs to go through. First, the family and Bob, they need to be able to want to drink less sweets, to waste less food. If we are not interested in changing something, then how do you change something? So we really want to be able to do it. And sometimes we're not very motivated to change, right? Do you want to eat less sweets? No? A lot of you are saying no, right? So if we don't want to, then how do you change, right? This is something very, very important. So think about one thing that you would like to change from your diet, either to make it healthier or a little bit more sustainable. Think about it in your heads. And think if you really want to do it. There are many things that you can do to motivate yourself to do it. You can learn more about it, you can have stories, you can talk to other people that have done it, but this is not enough. You need to practice. Practice. Who here rides a bike? Yeah, everybody rides a bike. Did you learn to ride a bike in a book? No, right? It will be a little bit strange. So how did you learn to ride a bike? Yes? By doing it, falling and doing it. Yes, it's the same thing with food. It's the same thing. So, Bob, what does Bob need to do? Yes, you. Okay, but how? Yes? Okay. Yes, so first, Bob needs to identify different types of things that he can drink instead, right? And then he has to drink them to see if he likes them, right? Yes? Like water, but there are also other things that Bob can drink that are not necessarily water only. Water is very important, but other things? Yeah, juice without fruit, juice that has a lot of water in it. So these are the things. Bob needs a plan. Bob needs a plan, and he needs to practice. The family, what can they do to reduce food waste? You are very quiet, red people. What can they do? How can they practice? They see the bin full of bananas, rotten bananas. What can they do? Yes? Buy less, yes, buy less, but they need to plan, they need to practice, they need to maybe test, okay, maybe I can buy less, and then next week I can buy less and see how much they eat, right? The thing is, we need to practice. We cannot just do it from one day to the other because the dentist said so. Okay, I'm going out of time, yeah? Yes?
When you see like a banana starting to rot, you can make it into something else like a muffin.
Yes. So they can practice a recipe, the whole family. They have to look for the recipe, they can practice it. Maybe the first time is not that great, maybe it's a little bit mushy, but the next time, maybe it could be better. But Bob here, he tried, his family tried, they practiced, but sometimes this is not enough. Because when Bob goes to school, he sees a lot of advertisements. When he goes in the iPad, He's always getting advertisements of sodas, of sugar, of sweets. All of his friends are eating sugar and sweets in the recess, and the parents buy. So Bob cannot do it alone. This is very important. When we talk about changing behaviors, you cannot do it alone. You have to have some support from the system. And what do we mean by the system? There needs to be, yes? Somewhere there? Yes? What do we mean by support from the system? Yes. Exactly. So it's not only one person, it's not only one family, it's not only one school. We know that we can start change from one person, that can happen, but the change needs to go beyond. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to work with schools, we're trying to work with governments, so Bob can have his life easier. So, some people from there, yes? Yes? You, yes. Yes. Exactly. Yes. Yes, exactly. You have it everywhere. You have it in your iPad, you have it, your parents have it in their phones, you have it outside, you have it going to school, you have it in TV, you have it everywhere. So next time that we hear we need to change behavior, yes, we can start, but we also need to tell them that the system also needs to change. And there are several things that we can also do. So, we can start change. We have seen the power of youth to start massive change. So this is for you. Choose something that you're interested in improving your own health that you think is very difficult, or improving how you eat that is very difficult for you because everything is against you, basically. And what can you do? You can start talking to your teachers, to the school. You can do a proposal. You can collect signatures. You can do it. You can start yourself and share with your friends. It's very, very important to do that. There are a lot of things that you can start doing. Experiment with food in your balcony, in the garden. Ask your teachers to help you do more. If there is a possibility to do a cooking workshop, all of these things are important. But the thing is that you should not be alone. You should not be alone. It's not only up to you. It's up to the whole community, it's up to the whole system. And you can learn facts about nutrition everywhere, and hopefully we will work with countries, with governments to do that in your curriculum, but it is important to know that information alone is not enough. You need to empower others, and you need to know that this change is together, not alone. So there is a lot of information, and there are a lot of resources in the FAO website that you can see. There is a very nice story that can tell you everything about what you can do yourselves, with your schools, with your families. But the main message is what about this presentation? What is the main message? Yes. Yes, practice what you're trying to do. Yeah. What else? Yes. Something else from there? Team blue team? Yes? Scream? Yes. And another important thing is that we should not do it alone, right? That we have to know, and we have to tell this to our parents, and we have to show. Okay? Yes? Yeah? So this was it. Thank you so much, and thank you, Bob.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So now you have heard something about the better nutrition, and I think you have learned something very important, that if we want to change our behavior, for example, bad habits, and we want to transform them into in a more sustainable behavior, the only way we can do it is by doing so. And we can start at an individual level, but it's not enough. So we also need our communities and our peers around us that help us to change the behavior, as well as help from the government, from schools, and from education. And now I would like to introduce you to another colleague of mine, Eugene, and he will have another presentation about the Better Environment stream.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Alina. So first of all, I have a little request for everybody. So my friend downstairs just sent me a message, and he said, "Well, Sheen, I thought you were supposed to have an assembly on upstairs. I can't hear anything." So what he said, so I want everybody here to send my friend downstairs a big message. So what we're going to do is we're going to send him the loudest message we can. So we're going to stomp our feet on 3, 2, 1. Stomp your feet. Send him a message. Let him know we're here. Louder, I can't hear you. He can't hear you. Yes, well done, well done. Let him know we're here. So, I'm here to talk about our healthy planet. So, thanks a lot, Melissa. So, this image here that you can see on your left and your right, this was taken about 50 years ago. And it was the first time that a human actually took a photo of the Earth looking back in. And with this photo, it was hoped that we would inspire a generation to become a healthy planet. So, a question to you now. Hands up if you think that with this image we've created a healthy planet. So if you think yes, put your hand up. Yes? And if you think no, put your hands up. No. So I see a lot of no's. Exactly. I'd agree with you. So right now, our planet looks a little bit like this. It looks a little bit sick, a little bit unwell. So what can we do? So think about it. What does a healthy planet look like? What does it look like? I want you to think this in your head and say it to yourself. Think about it. So if you, like me, would have had some of these images. So maybe you got clean air. You would have clean coasts, clean cities, renewable energy, maybe less noise. That's what I think of a healthy planet. So how can we do it? How can we get there? How can we get to this perfect world? So that's what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about our perfect world and how our food systems can achieve that. So what's the challenge? So right now, about 1/3, 30% of all of our greenhouse gas emissions are coming from food systems. So these greenhouse gas emissions are carbon dioxide, nitrous oxide, methane, and they build up in the atmosphere. So normally they're quite good, but when we increase a lot of our emissions, it starts to heat up. It starts to make our planet a little bit unhealthy. So I want you to imagine this. You're in bed at night. It's the middle of summer. It's quite hot. And then your parents or somebody with you comes and puts a blanket on top of you. Gets a little bit hotter, a little bit more uncomfortable. And then they come and put another blanket on top of you. So that's what's happening to our world today. We're increasing the heat. It's getting a little bit uncomfortable. So what can we do about it? So we consider the environmental impacts of our meals, eat more planet-friendly, nutritious diets, and reduce our carbon footprint. So I want you to remember 3 things today after this. DSW. Distance, source, and waste. So the distance. On the left side, we've got a plane. On the right side, we've got a local market. So global and local. Which one has the bigger impact? So hands up. Which one has the bigger impact? Global. I'd agree with you. So a higher impact with the global. Exactly. So with this, generally, the further it has to go, the further we have to travel with our food, the more emissions, the more pollution it causes. And local. If we know where our food comes from, we might be able to contact the farmers, contact the people who we're working with, growing the food, and let them know that, and let you know what's in it, and know the impact. So our food source, our higher impact. Who eats burgers every day? Who eats pizza every day? Who eats vegetables every day? Vegetables. I see a lot of hands. That's good, because that's what we're trying to achieve. Exactly as Melissa has said, we're trying to achieve this lower impact. And a lot of vegetables, a lot of fruit is very good, as opposed to a lot of meat. It's a higher impact. So then our food waste. I know we had a food waste champion down here earlier. He had some tips for us to use our muffins. with the bananas. Who was it? Who's our food waste champion? Over here? Ah, okay. You're our food waste champion. So this is a challenge. 17% of all total of our food production is wasted each year. 930 million tons. So what do we think in Italy? A lot? How much? Anybody know? Have a guess. Go for it.
1.2%.
1.2%. Okay, a million tons. A million tons. Anybody? Shout out. Shout out. What do you think? How many million? A billion? 4. Somebody say 4? 4. So we got just over 4 million tons of food wasted every year in Italy. That's quite a lot. And we have, I know we have South Korean students here, so what do you think? More or less in South Korea? More or less? More? It's actually less. 3.6 million, but not too much. So here's the challenge. Here's my first challenge to all of you today. So this equates in Italy to 67 kilograms per person per year. So that's maybe double of all of you every year. So what this equals money-wise, 8.5 to 15 billion euro. So this can get you more pocket money. Sounds nice? Well, you say, how can it get me more pocket money? So if we break down those numbers, that's about 150 to 250 euro a year. So all you have to do, 150, 250 euro a week. So all you have to do is say, Mom, Dad, whoever you're with, if I save 1.3 kilograms a week in food waste, will you give that to me? So that's about 5 euro a week. And then what else you can do is, if I save my 1.3 kilograms, and I save your 1.3 kilograms by giving us tips, that's an extra 5 euro every person. Sounds pretty good. Who doesn't want more pocket money, right? So we already have one tip earlier, so here's the rest. So saving food leftovers, being creative, exactly as we heard from somebody about using our bananas and planning your meals. So the last thing I want to talk about is just food waste packaging. So the first one we have to remember is the 3 R's. So does anybody know what the 3 R's are? No? Anybody? Shout it out there down the end. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Exactly. So the first one, reduce. We want to try and refuse as well. So that includes there. So if there is the option of having no packaging, we'll refuse. So that's what we want to talk about. Just see this symbol here? Can everything with this symbol be recycled? Hands up if you think yes. Yes? Some, maybe not. So all of these numbers have this symbol, correct? But not all of them can be recycled. So here's another challenge. If you have any plastic bottles, any plastic with you today, I want you to take it out after the assembly, see what number is on it. And then after that, look up in Italy, where you're from, can it be recycled? And then that's your challenge. So not all of them can. So that's it. That's how we can achieve step by step to our healthier planet. So what else can we do? You're going to stay tuned for more. Thank you very much.
All right, I hope you've all been listening very carefully because it's round 2 of the quiz. So you're all on 3 points each, all the teams. Let's see if any team can actually get ahead now. Okay, so
are you ready?
This time our captains are actually going to ask the question. So I am going to give the floor to our better production captain to ask the first question.
Do we have a microphone?
Oh.
There it is.
So, oops.
Are we ready?
They are ready, I guess.
So, what do you need to grow plants? Green, sun and water. Red, sun, water, and soils.
Let's start with the Better Life. They have voted red. Environment is also red.
Red.
And then nutrition is also red. Oh, this is going to be very interesting, very interesting. So, we're watching the online participants. Green. Oh, this is very interesting. Red, 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 green. There's only one winner. well done, better production. Well, they are better production.
Well
so
done.
So
why is this so?
You don't actually need soil. We have what we call aquaponics. This is actually some that I'm growing at home. Actually, downstairs in the atrium, you'll see some aquaponics. And this is actually a colleague of mine that's also doing some systems. So you don't actually need water. You don't actually need soil. What you do need is sun, water, and nutrients. So now there's lots of new technologies which don't use the soil. So, right. So that's interesting because I think now we have one team ahead. Let's see if the other teams can catch up. Right. Let's go on to question 2.
Dario.
Which product do you think contains more sugar than what children should have in a day? We have bottled iced tea or fruit juice. Fruit juice is red, bottled iced tea is green.
Okay, interesting. So let's see, what does the Better Lives team say?
Quite divided, not so easy.
It's undecided. So Better Environment has red.
Yeah, and
Better Life
opts for green, probably.
Green, is it?
Green? Okay.
Green. Better Nutrition, what do we have? Red. Better Production, red. So we got red,
and
green. So just one team has gone for green at the end there, okay? So let's see. Red. So the answer is red. Oh, you see, there were some nutrition people going like, no, the other color, but you're all right, you see. Okay, so one thing to watch out for, you can look at the labels. It actually tells you how much there is of each substance, like fat, sugar, and so forth, and how much you should be eating of that per day. So look at the labels, and of course, you can learn a lot more on, in nutritional things on our climate change nutrition badge. Right, let's go. Let's go into the next question. Better environment.
Can I have the microphone?
So let's see. Let's see if the better environment are better at these questions, because this is their question.
Okay, so the question is, how much plastic waste is generated by an average person in Italy per year? Green card if it's 59, red one if it's 114 kilograms.
Okay, let's see. Better Life is going for red.
Sarah, Better Environment, what do they say?
Nutrition
I think
is going for red.
Red here.
Red also for environment. And Better Production, what do we have? Red. So you're all going for red. You're all going for red. Okay, let's see what... Red. It is actually red. Okay.
Well done.
You all knew that one very well. Okay, but you still got... Let's see, maybe they're too easy, these questions. I don't know.
Last question
Let's
for
see,
this round.
Better Life. Let's see if we can catch some people out here.
Okay, so what is this youngster doing? For green, he's doing agriculture. And for red, he's playing with the drone outdoors.
Okay.
Oh, I see.
So, let's see what we have. Better Life, do we have a vote on that one?
I think they vote for green.
We're waiting there. There's some anticipation. So I see Better Environment is going for green. Nutrition is going for green. Production's going for green.
And also
Life is going for green. I think these captains are helping you too much because and the online are also all green. We can see them all online. Great. So let's have a look then, shall we? Maybe you're all wrong, maybe, right?
Oh, you have to do it again. Well done.
Right.
Ruben, I think our questions are too easy for them.
They're too
good.
They're too easy. So now they're just doing the scoreboard. So let's see what's the score after round 2, okay? So our little mathematicians in the corner there are doing the maths. Let's see What? Oh, here we go. Here's the score. So, at the moment, we have in last place at Nutrition and Environment on 6 points. Then we have Better Life on 5. And at the moment, the lead is in Better Production with 7 points. So give them a round of applause. But don't worry, because the last round, the questions are worth double. So you've all got a chance, okay?
Great. So I think now we have another video, right?
We are so committed to put together the truly youth-led platform to transform our food system. And for me, and I guess for everyone else here, this is a clear indication that to build better food systems, young people must be leading the way. We still have time and energy to bring about change for the better. For better production, better nutrition, better environment, better life, and why not, for a better future. A future in which the rest of the world focuses on eliminating barriers such as finance, land, and information that prevent young people from meaningfully engaging in different components of food system. And a future in which you and me and those who will come after us will inherit food systems that are better for their health.
Okay, so the video is over. And as you remember, Melissa in her presentation was saying, often we copy the behavior of other people. So now I would like to ask you, who is a role model for you in your family? Yes, please. Oh, that's cute. I see another hand up. Your father, great. Yeah? Okay. Your mommy, great. So basically, why is this so? Because the people, our role models, they do things that we like. They do things that have a positive impact, and they advocate for change, for a positive change. And that's why it's my honor today to introduce you to a few young, exceptional change makers who have managed, due to their activities and their great outreach in their communities, to help people change their behavior into a more sustainable lifestyle. And one of this person is Sophie. A round of applause, please. So, yeah, sure. So Sophie is a World Food Forum champion. But what is a World Food Forum champion? I think you all have heard about the UN Goodwill Ambassadors, correct? So basically Leonardo DiCaprio, Giselle Bündchen. So these people have a high visibility and they can help advocate for a better lifestyle, a better life, a better nutrition. And actually we have a lot of wonderful young people in all over the world that are doing the same things. And Sophie is someone very exceptional. She's very engaged in the World Food Forum. She's holding a lot of events and advocating for a better nutrition. And I would pass the floor to you so you can introduce yourself. And maybe you could tell the children how you have come to become a change maker and how was your path to arrive where you are now.
Definitely. Thank you so much. Good morning, everybody. I'm so excited to be here. I think when I was your age, this sort of platform didn't exist at all. And what I would have done to be with my friends in a room like this, talking about the future, I mean, I could have only dreamt it. I think when I was your age, don't tell your teachers, I wasn't the biggest fan of school, really at all. It just didn't really work for me. I would go home and I would teach myself about climate action, about agriculture, about the food around me, and what I could do to build a better world. So I'm from Ireland, and back in Ireland we have what's known as a young scientist competition. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. First of all, I get to do my own projects as part of school and as part of my friend group, but I also get to go to the capital city and make friends with other young people who are interested in science and interested in changing the future of our planet. And I know we heard earlier from the big decision makers in the room, and they said to you, you know, it's your world in 2030. It's your world now. And we have the ability to change right now if we work with our teachers, our decision makers, with our parents, with our friends. When I started entering my own science projects at this big event in Ireland, it just so happened that all my science projects revolved around agriculture and making the world a better place. And we found, so I used to live in a very rural part of Ireland around a lot of farmers, but I didn't do any farming myself. And in our biology class in school, we learned about the importance of soil. There's so many good bacteria in soil. And we found that if we use this very specific type of bacteria on plants, we could make them grow faster, they're longer, and they're also heavier, meaning that farmers have a better agricultural output at the end of their agricultural season. And this kind of blew up, and we ended up going to the Google Science Fair, the EU Contest for Young Scientists. We went with National Geographic. We went to the Galapagos Islands to talk with National Geographic explorers about what we found out, what we were able to do ourselves at home. So we did all our science projects at home. We made little, incubators. You need like incubators to make the plants feel like they're living in the soil. But we didn't have any access to land. So we had to create these little incubators with polystyrene fish boxes, a little light bulb, and a thermostat to keep the plants warm and make them feel like they're in the soil. And then we could monitor them every single day for a whole summer to see if they were growing bigger, were they smaller, and what was actually happening. So after talking to all these National Geographic explorers, we actually had a day where other young people could come to us and talk to us about our science projects. And when we were talking to them about food insecurity and climate change and the importance of us as young people actually finding solutions to these big problems, we're met with a lot of blank faces. I was kind of like, oh my goodness, we're not taught about this in school. And keeping in mind, I'm a little bit older than you guys now, so I'm sure you're taught about it in school now, but back then we weren't at all. So we went into a lot of big rooms with a lot of big decision makers, and it ended up that we were the only young people in the rooms, and often it felt like we were being a little bit tokenistic. We were that box being ticked off to say, oh, we had young people in the room, but it didn't really feel like we were working with the decision makers. So right now, what I do with World Food Forum and with other groups across the world is that we make sure that there is a young person in decision-making rooms, not just talking to the decision makers, but actually creating policies, creating campaigns for young people, led by young people right across the world. So if you're interested in being part of World Food Forum, check them out online. And also, there's a really, really great group made up of over 100,000 young people right across the world called Act for Food, Act for Change, which you can also look up. And that's a little bit about me.
Thank you very much. A round of applause. Sophie, you are an exceptional person. You're doing remarkable things. And when I was younger and I confronted myself with these exceptional young people who were already able to make a change, I was also a little bit intimidated, you know, because everyone has different capacities, has different dreams. So what is your advice to the young people out there? How can they get their foot into the door by making maybe the first step? So what would you encourage them to do?
Yeah, there's no action too big or too small. Everything leads up to a bigger action, a bigger role. You can be that domino effect, even if it's among your friends. If you see someone littering, tell them to stop, tell them to pick it up. Because that one piece of litter can end up being like 5 pieces, 10 pieces. It's a domino effect to something really, really big and dangerous for our environment, for our communities. If you see a parent throwing food away, tell them, hey, can we not box that up and put it in the fridge to have tomorrow for lunch? You can be that domino effect in your home, in your friend group, but also if you see a decision maker maybe saying something a little bit bad or something you disagree with, don't be afraid to put your hand up or tell them that, hey, the young people of today don't stand with what you're doing right now, and you're going to be the decision makers of the future. Right now, we have the largest generation of young people the world has ever seen. So even if you've got a part-time job in the local supermarket, stocking shelves, that's a really important act for everybody else in your community. Without somebody stocking shelves, there's not going to be food in the supermarket, right? So that's even a big role to play in food systems, and we've got such an important role to play, whether big or small.
Exactly, very well said. Be loud, be bold, and even the smallest steps are important and better than no steps at all. Just stay with me a little longer because you're also going to ask the next question in the next quiz round. I just wanted to ask whether George is here. George Harrison? George? Welcome. Hi.
Hello.
Nice to have you here with us today. So George is also a very remarkable person. So basically you are a writer, a climate activist. I think you're also an actor, correct? And you were featured in the Japan Forbes web series, correct? So wow, I think this deserves a round of applause already. And you have done something. You have written a book. So basically from a young perspective out to other young people. And could you tell me a little bit more about the book and what symbol books have for you, and why do you think they're such a powerful tool, especially when you would like to educate and advocate for a sustainable world?
As you said, I'm George, and my book is about the environment and 12 things you can do as a kid.
Yeah.
So the 12th, I actually learned about the environment here at FAO, and I wanted to make people aware of the current situation, and I didn't just want to wait for the other people to do something, and I didn't want to just stay there looking at the people doing. I also wanted to take action. So that's why I wrote this book. And I think a book is a very powerful tool because you can learn about the environment. You can tell other people about the environment. So I hope you guys read my book and do many of the things, of the 12 things I have wrote in the book. Thank you.
Very, very well. So another round of applause. So George, tell me a little bit more about yourself. How old are you? Where are you from? And how's the situation in your hometown and why you came to write this book? So what was your real life experience that made you write this book?
So I'm 10 years old and I live in Tokyo, Japan.
Okay.
I'm half British, half Japanese. And so actually I came to Rome when I was 6 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw a lot of trash, and I was like, oh wow, I wanted to do something. So yeah, my hometown. So I live in Tokyo, as I said. So it's pretty clean, but I sometimes do see people litter. So every Saturday I pick up trash around my area.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so basically we can see what is going on, and based on this we should also take actions and make a change, and probably other people, or hopefully, will copy our behavior. Exactly. So I would pass the floor to Ruben, who will lead the next and last quiz round. But obviously before that, a huge round of applause for Sophie and George. Please stay here because you're going to ask one of the questions.
So Sophie, I think you're gonna read out the first question for us, right? So here we go.
Yeah, so guess which one is really a fruit?
Okay, which one is a fruit? None of them look like a fruit, right? But one of them botanically is a fruit.
Or an eggplant, maybe?
So let's have a look and see. Maybe we can catch some teams out this time.
Answer?
Like, so, better life, what do we have? Red. Better environment, red. Better nutrition, red. I don't like. Better production, also red. You guys are just too good, I think. All right, everybody got that one right. So, George, why don't you ask us the next question? Someone's playing with my slides.
Oh my God. Can you read it?
Okay.
Can you read it out loud?
Who's playing with my slides back?
Guess a vegetable that helps boost your immune system and keeps vampires away. Use this wonderful vegetable to add a flavor without salt to many dishes.
Oh, so beetroot or garlic? Oh.
Okay, let's have a look. I think well, let's see. Okay, let's see. Better life, red. Better environment, red. Better nutrition, red. Better production, red. Okay, let's go. Whoa. Okay, but I gave you the answer for this one, so I was expecting you to get the right answer. Okay, so Sophie, will you ask the next question?
Sure, I think we've got a lot of vampires in the room. So how many kilograms of food does the average Italian family waste per year?
Oh, we heard that in a presentation.
Wow, 37 kilograms?
This one's a trick question. None of you are going to get it right this time, I'm sure. So let's have a look. Better life is going for red. Better environment is going for red.
Online as well.
Better nutrition is red.
Oh, we got a green.
Better production also red.
Red.
Okay, let's have a look. Ready?
Oh.
Need to hear you. All right. I promise you next time I'm going to give you much harder questions. So, George, you ready to ask the last question?
Who produces more of the world's food, men or women?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. So interesting.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
Oh, look, like none of the labels are going up now.
No.
Like better nutrition. Have you got an answer? Oh, this is trickier. No one's putting their signs up. Okay, better life. Do we have an answer from you? Okay, going for green. Better environment's going for red. Better nutrition's going for green. Better production's going for green.
Not so clear.
What happened? Oh.
The crowd goes wild.
So you want to change your idea of better production? You got a bit of pressure there, I think, huh? Okay, so what do we have? Green. What was yours again? Red. You're going for better nutrition's going for red. Okay. All right.
So women.
Oh. All right. All right, that was a tricky one, huh? Okay, that was the end of the third round. Let's see
so
the
much.
score.
So you can...
So we have a bonus question, just in case any of you may be like drawing. This was worth double points, so I hope the mathematicians at the back there have remembered it's double points this round. So let's see, who's ahead, who's behind? You can maybe stamp your feet while you're waiting for the answer.
It was better production, right? Leading?
Yeah, better production was in the lead. Who's still in the lead now? Were they still in the lead? Has someone overtaken them? Oh, the mathematicians are taking a long time behind there, aren't they? What are they doing behind there? Maybe they're not so good at maths after all. I don't know. Like.
Okay. Yes.
Oh, here we go.
Woo!
Here we go.
And who is it? And the winner is.
So, Better Life is on 10 points. Better Environment and Better Nutrition on 12 points. But Better Production's on 15 points. Give them a round of applause. So, but there is a bonus question. The bonus question is actually worth 3 points. So, you could catch up. This is your chance. So,
Better
concentrate
Nutrition.
hard. Bonus question.
Listen
Here
carefully.
it is. Don't get it wrong. This is your last chance. Better Nutrition and Better Environment and Better Life. So, here you go. SDG, Sustainable Development Goals. So, who is responsible for achieving the SDGs? Is it governments or is it everyone, including you kids? Tricky, tricky. So, Better Life says red. Better Environment says red. Better Nutrition says red. Better Production's playing it safe and also going red. And the answer is... All right.
So the winner?
So the winners are Better Production. Give them a round of applause. So I would now like to thank all the captains for their great effort in helping us do the quiz. So let's give the captains a big round of applause. And then we actually have come to the end of this part of the session. More or less, it's the end of the session. So I'd like to thank again all the volunteers, the ones in blue with the staff on the back, which are also... So give them a big round of applause. And then let's thank the translators in their booths. Let's give them a big wave to the translators. And last of all, but not least, the mathematicians in the back there that are doing all the controls.
Oh, yeah.
Now, we have a little surprise for you. I'm passing it over to Alina to present to you the surprise for closing of the event.
Okay, I would just ask 5 more minutes of your attention. So, who of you likes music? Ah, okay. Whew. So my surprise was good. So now...
Wait, no, sorry. Actually, sorry, okay. I made a mess
Change
up
in
of
plan.
it.
Change in plan.
Change of plan, because I have actually some slides to present, and I forgot about it. So I think we can skip the video. So let me just show you quickly the video. Sorry about that. I should read my agenda more closely. So let's quickly place the video. So now I've put the mathematicians in a mess because I messed up the agenda.
Okay.
Completely forgot about this. So, with your cards, red and green, like green for yes, red for no, who wants to actually do more for their environment after this event? Why don't you want to do more for your environment? Tell us. Why don't you want to do more for the environment? You see, now we caught her out. Okay, so, as you see, there's lots of challenge badges. First, before we start, we talked about a little bit about behavioral change, right? And the importance of making a difference. Now, I'm going to give you a little test with you to see how your brains work, okay? So look at this carefully. This is the test, let's say. So what does it say? You are required to say the color of the word, not the word, what it says. So the example below is, for example, the word is red, but it's actually blue. So you have to say blue, okay? You got it? Right, so let's see how your brains work. Let's try the first one. Okay, good. Okay. Louder. And quicker. Ready? Ready? Oh, you see? You see? What's happening with your brains? Okay, let's try another one, shall we? Okay, you're getting better. So, what's happening? Well, you have two sides of the brain. You have the irrational, fast part of the brain. This one's the one that's super quick and does everything. And then you have the other side of the brain, the rational one, the one that makes the good decisions, but it's more quiet and doesn't normally react as much as grumpy, fast side. So what happens is you are used to doing certain behaviors. You are always going to use your system one, your fast brain. Now, what you have to teach your brain is to use your rational side and to actually uptake some of those changes in behavior. And this is where your teachers can help you, because we actually have a program with the teachers to help them to develop the program to teach your brains to make those changes and actually act in an environmental way. It's actually harder than you think. To actually make things to become a habit, you have to do it 23 times before your fast brain will start doing it automatically. So just think about when you do environmental issues, like say, okay, let me do this 23 times. Let me ride my bike 23 times so that I put it into my fast brain and program my fast brain to make those decisions, okay? So we talked about the challenge badges, right? You, as a group of friends, as a class, as your family, you can choose any of these challenges and actually decide inside these little booklets which is going to be the challenges that your class and your group is actually going to do. So you can choose, there's lots of topics to choose from, and then when you finish, there's certificates that get sent from us, from FAO, for the school, and sometimes we also have ceremonies. We haven't had it because of COVID, but maybe those will be back. Maybe next year you'll come back and you actually receive some of the certificates for these badges. Okay, we also have these youth guides. We actually have the biodiversity ones. Who's actually interested in one of these books can actually get them before they leave the building, okay? And then, finally, these are the contact details for people you want to contact, okay? So, I actually did all the thank yous because I skipped my middle bit. So now I actually pass the floor back to Alina.
Thank you, Ruben. Okay, I will ask you again, and I want you to make a lot of noise. Who likes music? Wonderful. Oh, great. Okay, so we have a special guest for you here to close today's session. So first of all, a big applause to you from all the staff. So today, well done. So today we have the honor to have the German singer Kai Ketscher with us here. He has attended The Voice of Germany twice. He's quite famous in Germany. He has written several songs that are known over there in Germany, Switzerland, and also Austria. And it's my great pleasure to introduce you to Kai Ketscher.
I'm for every team, even though I'm wearing blue today. Hello, everybody. How you doing? Let's do this.
Have you ever felt the need to be as beautiful as the ocean? A beauty that comes naturally, no one would ever question. Oceans hold a variety of things. Some are beautiful than others. It's the same thing with everything that's below our surface. Oh! Below my skin, my clothes, my hair, my walk, my talk, there's something much more precious, something way more special. It's what defines you, it's your soul. Have you ever felt the need to be as beautiful as the ocean? Oh, a beauty that comes naturally, no one would ever question. Oh! Are you ready? Ha! Stop polluting my soul. Stop polluting my soul. Stop polluting my soul. Stop polluting my soul. Come on. Have you ever felt the need to be as beautiful as the ocean? Oh, a beauty that comes naturally, no one would ever question. Oceans hold a variety of things. Some are beautiful than others. It's the same thing with everything that's below our surface. Say, stop polluting. Stop polluting my soul. Wow. Dirk, thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Kai. Great, well done. And wow, you were amazing. Thanks. Ruben, over to you.
Why don't we give ourselves a really big round of applause? It's the end of the session.
Oh, you can do better. You can also stamp your feet, huh?
Stamp your feet, clap your hands, and scream. Go! And now, most of all, you get to eat.
Oh, this was the magic word.
So, your volunteers are at the back of the room, and they will actually take you up to the terrace up on the 8th floor. So there you can take photos and you can eat. Thank you again, all of you, for coming, and we look forward to seeing you again. Thank you again. A nice last round of applause. Thank you.
Grazie.
Like your
Oh my
finger.
God.
Like a church.